For sale boards are one of those things that are very kind of highly contested. Some people are absolutely fine about having them, other people hate the idea of them. And I think a lot of that is to do with invasion of personal space. And it's a very definite thing. Putting a for sale board outside your house tells you and tells the world that you are moving, or you are wishing to move and wishing to sell your property. I think it's important to remember that a for sale board is not an insult to your neighbours, and it's no more final than a property going on Rightmove or Zoopla, or being sold by an estate agent. I think it's important to have a for sale board for two main reasons. For starters, although your next door neighbour is very unlikely to be the person that buys your house, very much in the same way that we talk about a connection on social media, the same thing does happen in real life. Your next door neighbour is not going to buy your house, but your next door neighbour's auntie may have a friend who has a brother who is desperate to move to the area, really wants to live very close to where you live, and your house may be perfect for them. So there is always that possibility that, as well as hopefully you've got a good estate agent and they're doing their job and contacting people that they have on their books, having a for sale board just widens that area a little bit more, and allows more people to, yes, of course, know your property is for sale, but potentially could help to find your buyer. So I think it is important to have a physical for sale board, as well as all of the digital advertising that goes on the portals and bits and pieces like that. Second reason I think that people don't like putting their boards up, as I touched on very briefly before, people don't like their neighbours knowing that they're selling. Sometimes, if you've had an issue with your neighbour before, people can sometimes feel like this is being done to spite the neighbours. And again, I think it's always important to remember that ultimately, unless you really, really have an issue with your neighbour, putting up a for sale board is not going to upset anyone. Yes, it does mean everyone else is, on your street is going to know that you are looking to sell your property. But if you're looking to move, they're going to have to find out sometime. So I would always suggest, if you're looking at selling your property, and you are quite close to your neighbours, to tell them and let them know that there's going to be a for sale board going up. You may find there's some interest generated that you never even knew about, and it could end up with a kind of an avenue of sale that you weren't even expecting.